Hey, what's up guys, TechTine here, and I am back again with a brand new video. So before I begin this video, as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching this one. If you enjoy my content, make sure to leave a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And yeah, so I'm really excited for this video because we're going to be talking about the newly released Samsung Galaxy A52 5G, which is the successor to the Galaxy A51, and it's part of Samsung's A series, which was one of the most popular Samsung devices that launched last year. And so Samsung decided to continue with that formula and release the newly A series, which I will be talking about them individually, but today we're going to be focusing on that Galaxy A52 5G. And so with that being said, let's start and talk about the design itself. So the phone has a 6.5-inch display with that hole punch camera, which has been shrinking down. And the display itself is at 2400 by 1080, so it's a 1080p AMOLED display, and it should support 120 Hz and has a 800 nits of high brightness peak. And it is AMOLED, of course. And the bottom of the phone houses your 3.5mm headphone jack, so Samsung decided to stick with that and keep it. You also have your USB-C as well as your bottom facing speaker. And this phone is made out of metal infused glass and plastic, which is Samsung's kind of fancy plastic. So the back feels like glass, even though it's kind of made out of plastic in a way. So the cameras on the Galaxy A52 5G is a quad camera setup. So you have a 64 megapixel sensor at standard wide angle, and and the aperture for it is f1.8. You have also a 12 megapixel sensor at f2.2, and it is an ultra wide sensor at 123 degrees. And you also have a 5 megapixel macro as well as a 5 megapixel depth sensor. And we did say that it has a 32 megapixel front facing camera at f2.2 aperture. Now, to me, the most important part of the camera is the main camera as well as the ultra wide. The macro and the depth sensor are just there. They're not really doing a lot for me personally. And this camera can actually shoot video up to 4K at 30 frames per second and 1080p at 30 or 120 frames per second for that slow motion effect. And you also have electronic image stabilization. So only the main camera has optical image stabilization, but the ultra wide has a electronic stabilizer. And yeah, that's kind of it for the camera. So definitely high hopes for the camera, which is nice to see. And also I want to talk about the specs themselves now. So the specs are the following. So Samsung decided to go with a Qualcomm Snapdragon chip, which is the 755G, and it's 8nm architecture, and it is octa-core chip. So two cores at 2.2 gigahertz and 6 of them at 1.8 gigahertz. And it should have the Adreno 619 as far as GPU goes, and you have a couple options as far as storage and RAM. So you have 128 gigabytes of storage with 6 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage with 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is plenty for this phone. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it as far as the actual specs go. The battery on this phone is 4500 milliamp hour battery, which is a nicely sized battery. So to me, as far as this phone goes as a whole package, it seems to be like a near complete mid-range smartphone. Now, the price for this phone in the US specifically will be around $610 for the 256 gigabytes of storage and the 8 gigabytes of RAM, since the 6 gigabytes option has not yet been shown in the United States. And yeah, I mean, with that being said, I'm excited to get this in-house. I want to first thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoy it, make sure you leave a thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.